Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms for another quick tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about growth stages, in particular for wheat. So you can see we've got some wheat planted here, currently growing, owned by us, yield bonus of 98% and 100% fertilized. So what we're going to do is we're going to cycle through each game day and observe the growth states. So if we check our growth map, you can see the growing the green segmented growing bar. So the different colors represent the different growth states. So lightest being early and the darker getting ready to harvest. Okay, so basically you can see it's the light green. It's at its earliest stage. We are playing with seasons turned off, okay, but all other base game settings on. Okay, so this should probably take about 4 or 5 day cycles to be ready to harvest. So let's go through number 1. All right, here we are, day 2. So let's go and have a look at the crop. So still growing, looks pretty much basically the same as we left it. Okay, there's no weeds. Now we shouldn't get any weeds because we've ploughed this field. So when you plough a field with ploughing turned on, you should not get any weeds. All right, now let's just check our growth map. So you can see that it's growing. The shade of green has now changed to signify it's moved to the next growth state. Just double check our growth map. So we've got some stones, etc. No weeds. Dark blue signifies the fertilization. So we are all good to carry on. So let's go to the next day. So this will be day number 3, I believe, or day 2 if you count. Basically, if you count the planting day as day 0 and then go from there, that'll help you to sort of get a time frame for when this will be ready. All right, here we are. Let's call it day 3. So you can see the crop has now risen in height slightly. Still no weeds, everything's all good. Now I think at this stage the crop can be destructed, so let's just grab a vehicle that's close by. So just to demonstrate that the crop destruction does take effect at this stage. So you just need to be careful if you're playing with that setting. So as you can see, we've destroyed the crop by driving on it. Okay, so growth state number 2 or 3 will impact the crop destruction mechanic. So just for future reference. If you don't want to play with crop destruction on, you can turn it off. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. All right, let's sleep again. All right, here we are. Let's call it day 4. We're in the middle of winter. However, seasons is turned off, so it's not going to impact our growth. Once again, you can see growing, yield bonus is the same, fertilization bonus is the same. So let's jump into our growth menu. So you can see our little purple spot where we have destroyed the crop. However, it's now gone to that next stage of dark green to signify that the crop is actually growing. Okay, so call that day 3. Let's head on to day 4. All right, here we are, February. So we're still in winter. Now the crop has risen in height again, so it's actually looking a little bit more crop-like. So we can walk on it. It's not going to damage it. It's only when you drive on the crop with anything other than narrow tires. So if we jump into our narrow-tired tractor, which is this guy just here, we should be able to drive on the crop and not get the destruction. So let's just go straight through the guts here. So you can see that there. So say if we needed to fertilize or spray weeds or do any other sort of field work, we can come through with a narrow-tired tractor and we won't have any issue with damaging the crop. Okay, so just something to be aware of. So once again, day 4, let's check our growth map. So it's getting much darker again. So I think probably 1 more day, maybe 2 more days, and that'll be ready to harvest. So let's go and sleep. All right, here we go again. It's now into March. Crop hasn't grown again in height, but it's got the still same visual appearance as yesterday's observation. Once again, no weeds, still 98%. 100% fertilized. Let's look at our growth chart. So you can see now we've gone from the lighter green to potentially the darkest. So I believe tomorrow it'll be ready to harvest. So all good there. So let's go and sleep again. So normally what you wouldn't, if you were playing, you probably wouldn't sleep 5 days in a row to get your crop ready. You'd have other jobs on the go or be doing other things. So this is just for demonstration purposes, but this is how you basically get your crops to grow with seasons turned off and everything else in the base game as is. All right, here we are, April. So I think this is day 5 or 6, and you can see ready to harvest. So It'll change from a green to a brown or a white or yellowish sort of color, which basically indicates it's ready to harvest, and you can see there in the field info, ready to harvest. So now our crop is ready to attend to with our trusty combine, and we can start making some money. So you can see that there. Just gives it that visual change. And once again, if we check our growth map, you can see the ready to harvest indicator is now orange. Soil composition is basically the same because nothing else is altered. And our crop type indicates that we've got wheat. Okay, so that is the growth cycle for our wheat crop. So it's very similar for all the arable crops. So things like wheat, sorghum, soybeans, etc. They all have slightly different growth periods based on the crop type, but they all follow a very similar pattern. So that's basically how you know when they're ready to go. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. Any questions, leave a comment below. Like the video if it helped you out. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one, and bye for now.